One day at Vania's grandmother's house, it was an ordinary afternoon. Flory came over because she needed a batik shirt for an important event. Vania remembered that her grandmother had a large collection of old batik fabrics neatly stored in a wooden cupboard upstairs.
They went up to grandmother's sewing room. The room was filled with fabrics, thread box, and an old black sewing machine that had been there since 1990. Then Flory found a batik piece that fit her size perfectly. Fun? This is amazing! But there's a damaged spot here.
Yeah, it's a little torn, but it can be sewn. Let's use Grandma's sewing machine. They sat down. Flory started sewing the damaged part. At first, nothing seemed unusual. The machine hummed normally. Then, its sounds changed. It makes Vania and Flory look each other curiously. The machine vibrated faster and faster. Suddenly, the thread in the needle emitted a bright white light.
They hadn't even stood up yet. The light grew larger until the entire room turned white. When the light faded, they were still sitting in front of the sewing machine. But the room looked different. The wall paint appeared fresher. The cupboard had no dust. The air felt colder. And the sewing machine in front of them now looked damaged, as if it had been overworked. They also saw an oil lamp. Then Flory took the lamp closer, because the lighting in the room was not bright enough.
Suddenly, a voice came from downstairs. A woman's voice. The woman's voice reminded Vania of her mother. The woman seemed to be looking for a batik cloth because she kept calling her mom for it.
Vania and Flory quietly peeked downstairs to confirm if it was really Vania's mother. What they saw was a young woman around 20 years old. Her face closely resembled Vania's current mother, but much younger. Beside her stood Vania's grandmother, but she looked younger too.
Flory and Vania looked at the calendar, 9 February 1990, and they suddenly realized one thing. They were no longer in 2026, but they got distracted. They noticed something. On a table near the window lay another piece of unstitched batik fabric.
Flory had an idea. What if the cloth was taken to cover the hollow of batik shirt? Vania hesitated, but time felt urgent. Then she let Flory grab the fabric. They continued sewing the shirt.
When Vania and Flory were sewing, they dropped a thread on the table. The voice made Vania's mother and her grandmother curious. Finally, they climbed the stairs. When footsteps were heard, Vania realized that someone was approaching. Finally, she frantically asked Flory to hide.
Then Vania's mother and her grandmother entered the sewing room. They didn't find anyone. When they were caught off guard, Vania and Flory quietly went downstairs to escape. But unfortunately, when they were about to open the door to go out, Vania's mother noticed and saw them.
When she saw them, Vania's mother screamed instantly, making Vania and Flory panic endlessly. They opened the door and ran away with the oil lamp along the batik. They ran out of the house. The street was still dirt roads. No sounds of modern vehicles.
When they're still running, an old man saw them. The old man looked confused. Why did they run away in a hurry? Then he asked what happened. But Vania and Flory asked for help first, to hide in his house. Finally, the old man allowed them, and he took them into his house.
Inside, they told him everything about the sewing machine, the light, and the people who looked younger. The old man didn't laugh at them right away. He just listened quietly. Suddenly, there was a loud knock at the door, followed by the sound of police sirens. Vania's mother and grandmother had likely reported them, thinking they were thieves.
They tried to escape through the back of the house, but the fragile wooden floor broke and they fell. The police, Vania's mom, and grandmother entered and caught them. As they were caught, Vania's mom saw the finished batik shirt in Flory's hand. She froze. That batik shirt hasn't sewn before.
Before Flory could explain, the oil lamp she had held earlier flickered. The oil started to run out. A strong wind blew in. The windows opened and closed on their own. Everyone in the room grew frightened. A white light appeared again, filling the room.
Flory and Vania fell onto the floor of grandmother's sewing room. The sewing machine was back to normal, undamaged. They stared at each other, still breathless.
They went downstairs and told everything to Vania's mother, now in her 50s. Her mother listened with a confused face, then slowly seemed to remember something.
Vania's mother just laughed, but she also said that there used to be robbers in this house at 1990. They were two teenage girls, and they left a finished batik shirt. Curiously, they opened the cupboard where the shirt had been stored. They looking to see if the batik was still there or not. It turns out that the batik shirts are gone.
Near the cupboard, an old newspaper was tucked away, a headline from 9 February 1990 about two teenage girls suspected of stealing batik fabric, then caught. The photo was blurry, but their faces resembled Flory and Vania.
Flory was shocked. She realized if it was herself and Vania. Meanwhile, Vania looked toward the stairs leading to the sewing room. The old sewing machine sat silently as usual, as if it had never done anything, even though all of this had already happened long before they were born.